Hi, I'm Rick Pott, Optimization Specialist with the Precision Ag team at Huron Tractor. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about web-based and mobile John Deere applications and how they can work together with your combine to make your harvest as efficient and productive as possible.
So the first thing I want to talk about today is Operations Center. Operations Center is something that some of you may already be using or have heard of before, but it might also be something that not all of you have heard of or understand what it is fully capable of. So I quickly just want to review what Operations Center is and what it can do to help you manage your business. So Operations Center basically is a free web-based all-in-one John Deere application for managing equipment and data. And most importantly, it's a safe and secure place to store your data. So I'm just quickly going to walk you through how to access Operations Center and then just talk about what it can do to help you manage your business. So first we have to open a web browser here, and I'm using Google Chrome. And then we have to type in myjohndeere.deere.com to access our My John Deere account. If you don't already have a My John Deere account, this is where you would create one under Create New Account. I'm in my personal account here with my pre-populated username and password, so I'm going to click Sign In here. And then once we're in the My John Deere account, there's a variety of different applications here, and the one we're after today is Operations Center, and we can see it here in the second row. So we'll click on the Operations Center tab there, and it'll open a new tab for us. And when we open Operations Center, it takes us right away to our map screen here, and this is kind of the main screen in the Operations Center. In here you'll see your fields and your connected equipment. So we can see here we have a R4044 sprayer that has JDLink Connect and is in our inventory account and our ISU demo here on Tractor account. And then we can also see our demo plot here. So you'll see the field and then the last coverage layer that was done there. So we can see here crop soybeans, and it was planted as of May 26th there. So that's our demo plot there. So first I want to talk about kind of the applications and the capabilities of Operations Center, and we can find those here in our Tools button, the waffle looking button here. So once we click on that, it breaks down what's all in the Operations Center and all those applications. So right away we have here our Agrian Prescription Creator. So this is a way to create prescriptions using yield maps, kind of as a way to reduce input costs and a cost-effective way of creating prescriptions. If we scroll down a little bit here, we see we have a Field Analyzer and the beta version of Field Analyzer with kind of some extra utility in there. That's a way to review and analyze tillage, planter, seeder, sprayer, and combine data, and then use that data to make educated management decisions. So if we scroll down a little bit more, here we have our JDLink dashboard. So that's a way to monitor fuel levels in connected equipment, and then also review trouble codes that you may have in some of that equipment. And then finally, I just want to talk about Setup Builder here. Setup Builder is a way to create setup files that include equipment profiles, dimensions, boundaries, and guidance lines. You can use these setup files as a way to get a head start when heading to the field, so you're not messing around creating boundaries and creating guidance lines. You can have all those guidance lines, all those boundaries, those equipment profiles, all pre-populated in these files to send to the display of the tractor either with a USB or remotely, and have those all there when you get to the field. So just a few handy little applications in there. Very quickly here, I also want to just kind of review what's all in here if you have a piece of connected equipment. So we'll go back to that R4044 sprayer. If we click on it, we can see here its speed, its fuel level, and its heading. We can also see a bunch of information in here. So we click on that information tab. A number of different things will come up. So we can see how many engine hours that machine has, what type of MTG terminal it has there, and then also the display that's in that sprayer and the software version for both the display and the terminal. If we scroll down a bit, we can see what subscriptions that machine has. So we can see there it has a JDLink Connect subscription, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. On the side here, we have alerts. So that's all the error codes that are populated in that machine, both historical and current. On the side here, we also have the remote display access tab, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later and the capabilities of that program. We also have offsets in here, and this is where you could input offsets that would be attached to that equipment profile for those setup files. So yeah, that's just kind of a little taste of what Operations Center is and what's all in there and kind of what its capabilities are and how it can help you manage your farm business. So the next thing I want to talk about here is the MyOperations app. And basically what the MyOperations app is, it's a condensed mobile version of the Operations Center we talked about on your desktop there. So it's a downloadable app for either your iPhone or Android mobile phone, and it's kind of like the MyOperations map, field analyzer, and an equipment manager all in one mobile app. It's also an extremely useful scouting tool, and I'll kind of do a walkthrough of a scouting demo with this app later on here. So I want to talk about kind of the capabilities of Operations Center, or the mobile MyOperations Center app, and then also do a walkthrough of how to use the app and understanding that interface. So if we open the app here, and I'm actually recording my iPhone screen here, so this is just how you would see it on your phone here. So if we click that application, it takes us to our home page there. And in there we can filter kind of what we want to see, but it will show us our fields and our coverage data for our operations there. So I'm in our ISU demo account here, and I have it filtered to see our Exeter plot coverage layers. So it will show us the layers for that field, and it will start with the most recent layer, which is our soybean seeding layer. And as we scroll down, we can see historical layers that were done in that field. So we see our tillage data here that was done in January. And if we scroll back as far as 2019, we can see our corn harvest layer as well. So that's what you kind of see on the home screen here for this app. And if we open up, like if we click on the soybean seeding layer here and we click on the map, it will actually take us to the map tab, and we can see the coverage layer for that seeding pass. And right now it's just showing us our as applied rate. So in this plot, we're comparing two things. We're comparing soybean seeding width. So we're comparing 15-inch rows, 30-inch rows, and twin rows. And that's kind of what you see on that north-south in those changing colors there. And we're also comparing different populations in each of those treatments. So if we pull out this tab to the right here, it shows us our legend for our populations, and that's kind of showing giving some color of what's going on with that paint there. So, and also if we pull up on this white tab here, it gives us a breakdown of what's going on in that coverage layer. So we can see our work type, which is seeding, the crop, which is soybeans, and then the start and completed time for that pass. And we can also see our actual and target rate for seeding, total seeds used. And then at the bottom here, we see our varieties. So just like I said, we were comparing row widths there, and we listed those as varieties in the display. So we can see here we have the 15-inch rows, 30-inch rows, and 30-inch twin rows varieties there. So that's kind of what you see in that tab there. And then also in this field, if you click on the top there, we can see a variety of different coverage maps there. So since this is our virtual combine clinic, why don't we check out the harvest layer from last year for that corn plot. So we click on as applied rate there at the top of the map, it will open up a variety of different things here. So we can see here, and we can select different work layers here. So we have harvest, application, seeding, and tillage at the top here. And based on what we want to see, we can filter out, select all, or filter based on what we want to see here. So if we want to pull up our harvest map, we can click on that harvest tab at the top, and it will filter all our harvest layers for that field. So if we take a look and press on our corn harvest layer in December 13th, we can choose what we want to see from that harvest layer. So we can choose to see our dry yield map, our wet weight, our dry yield contour, our moisture, or harvest speed map. So if we click on dry yield here, it will pull up the dry yield map for that Exeter plot. So just like the planting, we can pull out the legend here and see what our yield is based on the color there in the field. And then if we pull up, we can also see, just like the planting data, we can see our work type, our start time, completed time, our total and average yield, and also our varieties. So you can see what we were comparing there. We were doing some singulation and some margin trials. So we can view all that in this tab here. And also, beside that summary tab, if we click on equipment, we can see what equipment we used to harvest that plot.
So we use our S770 demo combine there, and it pulls up that it was used to harvest that plot. So that's kind of what's in the mapping tab for the MyOperations Center app. And then also we have our Analyze tab here. So in here we can analyze our different varieties, we can edit those varieties, and we can also choose to delete those varieties if we maybe by accident made a variety that we didn't mean to. So we can do that with that little pencil there. Just like the map, we can filter what varieties we want to see in that Analyze tab. So yeah, there's a lot of versatility in this application. So now I want to do a little bit of a scouting demo with this application as well, and kind of discuss how you can maybe scout your fields with this app as well. So like I said there, I kind of want to do a demonstration of how you might use the MyOperations app for scouting on your farm. I think it's an extremely versatile tool for scouting. I use it on my own farm, and I kind of want to walk through of how it maybe have some utility for you when scouting your own fields. So if we open the MyOperations app here and we're on the home page, if we select, just like we did before, our soybean seeding layer and select on map there, it will take us to that seeding layer again on that map. So let's say I wanted to look at the different passes there, the different row width trials there. So on the as applied rate there, if we click there again and click the soybean seeding layer, we can choose what we want to see there. So we have, if I click on the actual varieties there, it will pull up the varieties on the map there, and on the legend there you can see what we have. So we have our 15-inch rows, our 30-inch rows, and our 30-inch twin rows. So if we zoom in, I can see that I'm actually standing in one of the 30-inch twin row passes. So let's say I wanted to do an emergence evaluation or a stand evaluation. I can actually drop a flag where I am on the map there. If you allow the app to view your location, it will follow you around, and you can see me there. I'm that little blue dot standing in that pass there. So if we click on the flag button there, right above that button it says you can tap that button to create a flag at your location. So if we tap that button again there, we have now dropped a flag, and we can choose what we want to do with that flag. So under category, now that we've had some heat and rain here, we're starting to see some of our soybeans emerge here. So why don't we make the category our emergence flag? So that is now our category, and we can actually add a photo of what we're seeing here. So as you can see, there's some stand there of our twin row soybeans. So we can use that photo to leave with that flag, and we can take a note there as well. So under the notes tab, if we say leave a note, I can put twin row emergence. So if we're all done with all that information, we have our category, our notes, and our photo. We can click save there, and that flag will now be saved to that field. So we can do a variety of other things. We can flag crop stages. We can flag rocks as well, weeds. So just for the sake of a demonstration, let's make another flag here. I have some rocks in the field here. Click on our category, select it as rocks. We'll add a photo. Nice pile of stones. And with that note, we can leave, let's say for whatever reason, maybe you were on your planting pass and you were in a ram to get the seed in and you didn't want to pick those stones right away. So you could drop a flag there, and that will stay there in that location. You can say pick these stones to make sure those stones get picked before they go straight into the combine there. So once we're done there, we can click save again. And again, we have that, they're kind of close together there, but once we zoom in, you can see that we have those two flags there, one for the stones and one for our emergence there. So just kind of a neat little tool to do some scouting and to drop some flags. Those flags will stay in the operations center, and you can actually put those flags in your setup files to send to your combine. And we'll talk a little bit about some new things in Connect Mobile and how those flags will actually send notifications through the Connect Mobile when you're getting close to those flags. So just a little bit of a demonstration on how you can use the Operations Center app or the MyOperations app to do some scouting on your farms.
Today I also wanted to talk a little bit about Connect Mobile. Connect Mobile is a mobile application you can download on your iPad and use it as an in-field diagnostics tool to help you monitor the performance of your planter, sprayer, or combine. Since this is the virtual combine clinic, I'm going to discuss the harvest application in Connect Mobile. I'm recording the screen on my iPad to demonstrate what is in the Harvest app of Connect Mobile and discuss how it can help you monitor and optimize combine performance. So once we open the app here and select harvesting as our operation, the app will automatically snap to your location. And once connected to the combine, it will monitor the performance of your combine with high definition mapping of multiple layers, including, as we can see on the side here, moisture, dry yield, wet yield, and new with the May 2020 update, if your S700 series combine is equipped with the Harvest Smart package, when using the auto maintain function, map and monitor relative grain loss based on your set target in the relative grain loss beta tab here. These high definition layers of information can be used as a reference to make harvesting adjustments and optimize the machine in order to make it as efficient as possible. Since Connect Mobile is connected to the display in the combine, any flags in the display will also show up on the Connect Mobile app as well. If you use flags to denote where obstacles or obstructions in the fields are, upload those flags into the display with your setup file, and as the combine is approaching that flag, the operator will be notified with an audible tone through the iPad to alert them that they are approaching that obstacle. Each flag category can have its own proximity distance and the choice of having an audible alert. Also, you can also go into the Field Review tab to review each layer. As an example, since we use Connect Mobile on this iPad to monitor our planter when planting our soybean plot, I'm going to select that field. If we go into our Field Review tab here, and I select that field, and that planting soybeans, that operation, now that we are in that Field Review tab, we can see those high density layers all here. So we can see our target population, our actual population, our applied downforce, gauge wheel margin, ground contact, and our varieties. So if this was our field review for our harvesting layer, we would see all those high definition layers of the moisture, dry yield, wet yield, and the relative grain loss if we were using it in this Field Review tab. So that is just a bit of a brief demonstration of some capabilities of Connect Mobile. Connect Mobile is compatible with all S600 and S700 combines, as well as 70 series combines. For more information, contact your local Huron tractor dealer.
One thing I want to talk about today is JDLink Connect. JDLink Connect is a subscription that utilizes the MTG, or Modular Telematics Gateway, in your combine to do a number of different things. The first is that it allows for the automatic flow of data from the display in the combine to your Operations Center account. The second is that it allows you to remotely send setup files from your Operations Center to the combine. Essentially, it allows for wireless data transfer between your Operations Center account and the combine, eliminating the use of USBs. So another thing that JD Connect allows us to do is remotely access the display in the combine or other equipment with your Operations Center account. And this can either be done on your desktop computer with the Operations Center and your My John Deere account, or it can also be done with your mobile phone or iPad in the MyOperations application there. So I'm actually sitting in an S770 in Huron Tractor's inventory here. So I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration on how to RDA the display, and then also kind of discuss why it might be helpful for you. So yeah, as you can see, we're sitting in an S770 with the key turned on here, and I'm recording the screen on my iPad here. So I'm going to select the MyOperations app there. And then once you're in there and you're on the map, all you have to do is select the machine you wanna call there. So that's our S770 new inventory there. And if we pull up this tab, on the right side here, you see that RDA button. So I'm going to click that. And then once you've clicked that, it asks you to verify your account again by signing in. So once we've done that, it will actually call the display. And once you hear that chime, and then a blue line will circle your display there, as we just saw happen there. So now we can actually view that display in real time in the Operations Center. So as you can see, I'm viewing that display, and as I click around here, you can see that it updates in real time on the iPad. So this can be helpful for a number of reasons. The first is that it allows for the dealer to call a display and support or coach a customer or an operator from a distance when they're in the combine. Or also, if you have an owner of this combine and they're putting in a new operator in the seat, this allows the owner of that combine to call that display and coach that maybe inexperienced operator through how to run the combine, how to run the display, and kind of help them through that. It can also be used to optimize the machine when changing crops. Like as you see here, when we click on the harvest settings, it will update in real time on the iPad there. So this remote display access can be used to optimize that machine when changing crops. Another thing is that it helps diagnose and fix technical issues with the combine. If you're having technical issues, we can call the display and see what's going on. Maybe have a setting that's a little bit out of tune there, and we can coach you through fixing that to keep that combine going. All of these help reduce downtime and keep that combine productive when it's needed most in those small harvest windows. So yeah, kind of a neat little application there. And once you're done doing the remote display access, you can either end the call through the display in the combine by clicking on our menu button here, going into applications and selecting remote access, and you could click end session there, or you can simply click end session up here in the iPad. So once you click that, you'll hear that chime again, and it will end that remote display access session. In order to enable remote display access and wireless data transfer, 4 things are required. First, you need either a Gen 4 display or a GS3 2630 display in the combine or machine you want to connect. Second, you need that modular telematics gateway we talked about, or MTG. That allows for the wireless transfer of data between the combine and the Operations Center. Third, you need an Ethernet cable to connect the display in the machine to the modular telematics gateway. Fourth, you need your JDLink Connect subscription. For more information, contact your local Huron tractor dealer.